It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Hope you had a great weekend. It's the last day of winter. Yes, spring is sprung on tomorrow. But it's Monday, brand new week, the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. here on the East Coast in the Carolinas, the Charleston, South Carolina metro area, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles and the West Coast. Subscribe. Now I need you to tell everybody to subscribe, share, screen grab. You can share, copy and paste the link, text it, email it, tag it, screen grab, pull a video clip, a couple clips, a lot of clips, make them go viral. Subscribe, share, screen grab. Be sure to like this and every episode and binge watch all my back episodes and give them that thumbs up when you do. The Geno Jones Show brought to you by CM, like Mary, CM Transportation. If your business needs reliable, dependable, fast, on-time transportation company, a company you need, maybe you've got one and they just don't get the job done, or if you are looking for a dependable, reliable, on-time delivery when it comes to a transportation company, CM Transportation. Carissa Carter, she is the CEO of CM Transportation. You can actually Google search her. You can find her on social media. I know on Facebook. I believe on Instagram, search CM Transportation. Carissa Carter, C-A-R-T-E-R. She was a guest on the show. You know, March is Women's History Month, and she is definitely a woman making history, African-American woman, CEO, one of the largest and one of the best transportation companies in America. Thank you, CM Transportation, for being a sponsor and a big supporter of the Geno Jones Show. Let's get right into it. So, congratulations. First of all, the NAACP Image Awards last night. Big shout out to Usher Fantasia, New Edition. They received the NAACP Image Awards along with the movie The Color Purple. Fantasia gave a great speech. Usher was clean as all get out. Gave a great speech. Talking about, the 100 sold out shows he did in Las Vegas. They turned out the Super Bowl halftime show that had 119 million viewers. Amazing. And then New Edition reminded you, hey, listen, make sure you get your tickets going out to Vegas. They're doing their Las Vegas residency. Incredible. And shout out once again to The Color Purple. And it was just really a great night, great entertainment. Black excellence at its finest. I know the races out there, and the MAGA cults, all the white nationalist heads was just exploding. Oh my God, look at all of this black excellence. Oh no, it can't be real. I digress. We'll get back to that shortly. So I wanted to shout them out. A happy birthday to the Queen, Dana Elaine Owens, aka Queen Latifah. Yes, the Queen herself. U-N-I-T-Y, man, that was a joint back in the day, one of her big hits. U-N-I-T-Y, she's an actress, a rapper, just a talented sister. One of my favorite just rappers slash entertainers. Queen Latifah, 54 today. Happy birthday, Dana Owens. And Vanessa Williams, R&B singer, like an 80s, early 90s. Definitely she was killing the game in the 80s and the 90s. R&B singer, actress, and the first black woman crowned Miss America in 1984, and then they tried to just scandalize. It's beautiful. I had the honor of meeting her right after she became Miss America. So Vanessa Williams, 61 today. Happy birthday, Vanessa Williams. Still looks good. Black definitely don't crack. Amen to that. Speaking of black not cracking, not at all. Miss Beyonce. Shout out to Beyonce Coles. It's really Beyonce Knowles Carter, not Coles, if you want to combine Coles and Carter. Beyonce Knowles Carter, Miss Queen B. Country has got a country album called Country Carter. Get ready for Country Carter. That's the new name, or the name of her brand new, like part 2 of the whole, she did the first Renaissance last summer. That was like the whole house music tribute to one of her late uncles. So this is Renaissance part 2, and the title is Country Carter, coming out on March 29th. She already's got 2 #1 singles from that album. Of course, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. So shout out to the Queen Bee country music fans, even folks that don't even like country music, because they did a remix on Texas Hold'em too. My radio station is playing that remix. So shout out to the Queen Bee, Miss Beyonce, doing her thing. So you know she's going to clean up. She's going to clean up next year at next year's NAACP Image Awards. Not just the NAACP Image Awards. She's probably going to, you know what? She might finally win Album of the Year at the Grammys. Because y'all did her dirty and done her wrong. She should have got Album of the Year for Lemonade. I could go on and on and on. Could have got Album of the Year for Renaissance. I digress. So shout out to the Queen Bee. Get ready. Country Carter coming to somewhere, a download or someplace near you on March 29th. Get your cowboy hat on there and put on your boots. Yeah, you know what, kickers, and get ready to get your line dance going on. Whatever, all right? And ladies and fellas, you need to pay attention to this too, because this is going to benefit you, even though you won't take them. The first over-the-counter birth control pill is out now. It's available, only available online at Amazon, so you can order it on Amazon, or this company, so the company's name, I guess the brand name is O-Pill, like O-P-I-L-L, and you can order it, the company's website, OPILL.com. I'm not a doctor, and I'm definitely not an OBGYN, so I would recommend, ladies, I know I don't need to tell you this, I would contact my doctor before taking any kind of medication. Consult with your physician, as they say. So, now, I got to take a hard pivot. Shout out to everybody who is watching me live right now. So, there's been a lot of talk over the weekend. So, Saturday night, the person who I not so affectionately refer to as Orange Jumpsuit Hitler, a.k.a. Donald Jackass Trump. Yes, the orange jumpsuit one, at it again. At a rally in Ohio over the weekend, I believe Saturday night. So he started off talking about Chinese auto imports, and he was saying there's going to be 100% tax placed on any car, any auto coming into America to be sold. And then because, you know, his brain, he just unfocused, and he just, what he really want to say always slips out. The quiet part always comes out loud. Out of nowhere, in the same sentence, he said, you know, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That's going to be the least of it. Then he said it again, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the country. And that's just going to be the least of it. Now, you've had some people who tried to defend him. And of course, the MAGA cult is going to defend him and say, well, now the media is being unfair to Mr. Trump. You're taking what he said out of context. You even had some people who I have respect for, who I admire their work. Now, I got to name check him because he was out there. I saw the video yesterday. Stephen A. Smith, among other people. He wasn't the one. And Stephen A. Smith is not part of the MAGA cult. But, well, you never know how a person really feels. But I don't believe that. I'm just being honest with you. But I understand in his position on ESPN, he'll say, well, you know, MAGA cult members like sports too. So, you know, he tries to play both sides, ride both sides of that horse, straddle that, you know, he tries to straddle that horse, one leg on one side, one leg on the other side, saying that, you know, not literally, of course, that's a metaphor, metaphorically. But sometimes you just got to call it like, to use a sports analogy for Stephen A., you got to call balls and strikes. And if you see the ball come right down the middle, straight down the middle of the plate, it's a strike. You got to call it a strike. People can see it's a strike. You can't see what, belt high, right down the middle, split the plate wide open, and you call it a ball. People like, come on, dude. That was right down the middle of the plate. That's a strike. You can't call it a ball for whatever your agenda is, whatever your reason. So I digress. But the main point of this monologue is not about Stephen A. Smith at all. But the point is, here's a thought experiment. It's not even a thought. Let's go down this. Let's do this. Well, you know, the media is so mean. They're so mean to Donald Trump, and they take what he says out of context. No, au contraire, mon frère. Nobody takes anything. Well, we don't. I don't have to take anything out of context. All I do is just let him run his mouth. Because, like Maya Angelou says, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. And he's shown us many times who he is. When he was elected in 2016, first thing that he did when he got elected, called for a Muslim travel ban. No Muslims can travel to America. I got struck down by the courts. You had this racist rally, University of Virginia, Charlottesville. You had the white nationalists, the little coward, punk-ass, bitch-ass white nationalists in their little khakis and the tiki torches. Jews will not replace us. Chanting Jews will not replace us. Like, who in the hell wants to replace a Nazi, a white nationalist, a Ku Klux Klaner? Who wants to replace you but another one of you? They went down to the University of Virginia that same weekend. A young woman named Heather Heyer, a young Jewish woman, was killed, murdered. Car, one of those tiki torch haters, hate mongers, hit the young woman, killed Heather Heyer, almost killed this black guy. They were counter-protesting the hate and the anti-Semitism, the anti-blackness, and just all the hate and bigotry and the chanting, Jews will not replace us, and all of that. And you know what your man said? There are fine people on both sides. Really? There were fine people with tiki torches saying Jews will not replace us, and this loud anti-Semitic chant like they were at a football game, doing a call and response for their favorite football team or their university or school. Okay, well, let's not stop there. January 6th, before you had like hundreds, thousands, over 1,000 domestic terrorists stormed the U.S. Capitol, chanting, "Hang Mike Pence." Not only were they chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," they brought a gallows, like a hangman's gallows, already built and put it on top of the steps of the U.S. Capitol while they were chanting and looking, "Hang Mike Pence," looking for Nancy Pelosi, saying they wanted to kill Nancy Pelosi, looking for people like my Congressman James Clyburn here in South Carolina. Stormed the Capitol, attacked the Capitol Police, attacked law enforcement. And the bad part, you had people who were former ex-military, some still in the military, and they got kicked out. You had active law enforcement, people who were in law enforcement, police officers that were part of that mob of domestic terrorists. And who got them really amped up? Who sent them down to the U.S. Capitol saying, "You gotta fight"? And I'm gonna go down there with you, but his punk ass didn't go. But he said, we've got to go down, and I'm going to go down with you to the Capitol, and you've got to fight to take this country back. And they did exactly what he told them, inciting violence. Back in March, orange jumpsuit Hitler said, oh, there's going to be potential death and destruction if I'm found guilty in this New York hush money case that's involving the porn star, the ex-porn star, who they gave the hush money to like a month before the election to try to keep her quiet so that they wouldn't find out that Trump was having sex with a porn star while his current wife was pregnant with their son, Barron, at the time. And then this weekend. Now I'm going to deconstruct this statement. So you talked about the Chinese, what's going to happen, the 100% tariff or tax that's going to be imposed on automobiles coming from China. And then how do you get from that to, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath? Now some people start saying, he's just talking about a bloodbath when it came to a tariff, a tax on automobiles coming to America from China. Come on, y'all. Does that really make sense? Stephen A., come on, bro. Game recognized game. Come on. You from NYC. You know bullshit when you see it and hear it. Really? But okay. I'll humor you. I'll play along. Well, he was just talking about it's going to be a bloodbath when it came to all the cars, the automobiles not coming or being taxed at 100% from China. So then what does that's going to be the least of it mean? And then he repeated, oh, it's going to be a bloodbath for the country, and that's going to be the least of it. What did he mean? Like I said, I'm deconstructing this conversation, this statement. That's, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. That's going to be the least of it. So, okay, if you say the least of it is going to be a bloodbath when it came to the tariff, the taxes that you're going to put on automobiles coming from China, but that's the least of it. That's the least of the bloodbath. Then what's going to be the most of the bloodbath? Come on, y'all. Come on. And to the black people trying to defend that statement, what you need to understand, if he got his wish, if he gets his wish, who do you think is going to be the biggest victims of that bloodbath? Okay? People that look like you and me. So you need to listen to what Maya Angelou said. You need to play those words in your head. You need to hear the voice of Maya Angelou. Or hear me repeating her legendary phrase. When people show you who they are, when people tell you, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath, that's going to be the least of it. Because he kind of said it kind of fast, like but he knew what he was doing. He knew that all the violent white nationalists, these white Christian nationalists that stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021, that invaded the University of Virginia and ran over and murdered Heather Heyer, ran over and killed a black man who were chanting this anti-Semitic chant, Jews would not replace us, with tiki torches. All the Oath Keepers, the 3%ers, the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys, the ones that's talking about it's going to be a civil war. First of all, what you all need to understand, that nobody's going to win in that. And I know there's a movie coming out, but nobody is going to win. And eventually, you saying poor and working class, especially poor working class, white Americans, they come for you next. Do you think that ideology, that mentality, all the wars that happened in Europe, look at what's happening in Ukraine. The Ukrainians and Russians literally are first cousins by DNA. And look at the dictator Putin, who Trump idolizes, who worships at the altar of Vladimir Putin, who had the bogus sham bullshit election. And then when your boy Orange Jumpsuit Hitler has the nerve to say, if I'm not elected, there's never going to be another election. No, he's projecting if he is elected, there will never be another free election in his lifetime, for sure. When people show you and tell you, not just show you, but when the words match the action and the behavior, when people show and tell you who they are, you better believe them. And to my brothers and sisters, whatever your agenda is, if you feel that you got to try to play both sides of the middle, you're trying to protect your money, I get it, but at some point, your money's not going to do you any good. Because I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how many millions you make. If they come for one of us, they coming for all of us. It don't matter if they like seeing you on ESPN or like seeing you play football on Sundays or Saturdays or basketball or baseball or whatever. Or if they download your rap music, or if they go to see you in concert, or if they love watching you do comedy specials. It don't matter. Whatever your talent was is not going to save your ass. They come for black folks, come for people of color, my brown folks, as they say, Afro-Latino brothers and sisters, folks in Mexico, Central America, from the Caribbean, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Afro-Latino, Afro-Cubans, all the Caribbean immigrants from Africa, from Nigeria, from Ghana, West Africa. So when they come, after they finish coming for you, for us and them, Native Americans, Asian Americans, remember this is the country that literally put Japanese Americans in concentration camps, and the only thing they didn't do was to gas them. Internment camps. Japanese American citizens who were born in America during World War II, after Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. So history shows you that they will come for anybody. And then eventually, if you're not part of the 1%, and if you don't do what they want you to do, to my poor and working class white brothers and sisters, the ones who worship at the altar of Orange Jumpsuit Hitler, they call him, refer to him as Orange Jesus, with this warped remix version of Christianity, and there's nothing Christian about it. There's nothing in Matthew 23 about hatred and racism and anti-blackness and anti-immigrant, anti-Islamic, anti-Latino hate. None of that. Homophobic. None of that. There's nothing. I don't know, baby. That part of the Bible, Matthew 23, maybe y'all tore that page out. That's not this warped remix version of white nationalist Christianity that allows you to hate people and to believe that political violence is okay. And Project 2025 wants to turn this into a white Christian nationalist nation mandate. That's the national religion that everybody has got to adhere to. And get rid of the Constitution and base all the laws based off their interpretation, their white Christian nationalist interpretation of the Bible. Theocracy, that's what it's called. If you don't fall into line to my white brothers and sisters, especially poor and working class, they're coming for you too. Oh, don't think they won't. Okay. Look at Ukraine. If you don't think that they'll come for you just because y'all got the same lack of melanin, you're not paying attention either. So, when Orange Jumpsuit Hitler, a.k.a. Donald Jackass Trump, says, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the country, that's going to be the least of it, that's what he wants. And that's the message that he was sending out. What you can do about it, you can show up to vote, and you can make sure that you take 25 people with you, and to your nieces and nephews and sons and daughters and grandsons and granddaughters who are millennials and Gen Zers that think, oh, what happened in 1850? No, we're not talking about 1950. If they don't think what happened in 1850 couldn't be a modern day version of that, then they're not paying attention. And tell them to download and just read some of Project 2025. Because it's already in print. It's already in black and white. And they're not trying to hide it. You can download the blueprint yourself. You can download the blueprint. And it's in black and white. Download it as a PDF on your tablet or your smartphone or your desktop or your computer, your laptop, your PC. Doesn't matter. Heck, you can download it on your phone. Save it as a PDF, print it out. Project 2025. All the things. Get rid of the Department of Education. Militarize local police. So if you have peaceful protests in cities like Chicago, Detroit, Atlanta, New York City, and LA, and Houston, and New Orleans, send the military, send the Marines, send the Army Rangers. Shoot them. Remember, he already said, he asked his defense secretary back when you had the George Floyd protest, and the George Floyd protesters in D.C., they were protesting that summer of 2020, and he asked his defense secretary, a guy named Mark Esper, can't we just shoot him? And his defense secretary said, no, we don't do that in America. Well, in his version of America, Orange Jumpsuit Hitler, they would do it. So for my millennial brothers and sisters, don't check out. Don't trip on Biden. And, any decent human being hates what happened in Gaza. But if you think that Joe Biden is responsible, you don't get it. But if you don't think what's happening in Gaza could happen here, the dude has just told you, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. But you can stop him, and especially my millennials and my Gen Zers. And I'm going to repeat this almost every day if I have to. The fear and the freak out by those in power and the racists and the white nationalists and all those that are promoting political violence and hatred and fear. Well, part of it is that hatred and fear is big business. The gun manufacturers love it. Oh, they love it. And you got politicians who are focused on absolute power, understand the way to get that absolute power is to spread fear, division, hatred, divide and conquer, and then give them all the weapons that they need, and all the ammunition. All these states like South Carolina, you can be 18 years old, you don't need a permit, no background check, you're not even required to get training. Anybody can get a gun. All these southern states, Georgia's the same way. I believe Florida. That's the recipe for disaster. Man, y'all better wake up. That's how you control the masses. That's why they want to ban books. They don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to be educated. They want you to be ignorant, dumb, and afraid. So those few 1%ers, that have used power, and a lot of them, they have this ideology of absolute power, and a lot of them, a significant number, worship and believe in this ideology of white Christian nationalists, that the white race is superior, which goes to show you how dumb they are, because whiteness is made up. There is nothing in the human genome. Get a DNA test, and when the results come back, for every time you see the word white on the test results of a DNA test, I give you $1,000, because you're not going to see it. Whiteness, this whole concept, it was created to pit one group of people against the other, so a small handful of people can maintain social, economic, and political power. It was made up in the 1680s. White people in Europe before the 1600s didn't refer to themselves as white. They were Europeans, folks from Asia, folks from Germany, France, Sweden, Finland, Switzerland, Norway, Belgium, Eastern Europe, Soviet Union, used to be USSR, Russia, Lithuania, the old Yugoslavia, Croatia, Austria, Hungary. You weren't white. It was made up. Millennials and Gen Zers, they're freaking out because they understand. A lot of those in power that's been promoting this fear, ignorance, and hatred, they're getting older and they're dying off and they don't want to lose power. But I'm going to let you in on a secret again. Millennials and Gen Zers, you got the power. Like a dance song by a group called Snap back in the 90s. I got the power. You got the power. Step into it. Don't give it away. Don't tap out. Don't check out. Oh, they've been brainwashing you. Why you think you see all these videos on social media, Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and Twitter or X, Facebook? Oh, it don't really matter. And black folks, the Democrats ain't done nothing for you. Well, actually, they have a whole lot. That's a whole nother show. But this MAGA cult, the one thing they're going to do for you is oppress you. And if you don't go along with the oppression, they want to end your life, you and your family's life. But you can stop it. And all you got to do is step into your power and vote in mass. And if you don't like how the Democrats have been doing things, take over the party. Do like the cult did. The MAGA cult took over what used to be the Republican Party. It don't exist anymore. So take over the Democratic Party and make sure that they're doing the things and advancing the policies that you want. Affordable child care and affordable housing. You know, a higher minimum wage, federal minimum wage than $7.25 an hour. Whatever, climate change. Whatever your policies are, whatever agenda that you have to make your life better, student loan debt relief or eliminate student loan debt, you want that to happen, you've got to vote in mass and get some of your buddies and some of your sorority and fraternity brothers and sisters, the ones that went to law school or majored in government or political science. You don't have to do that. You don't even have to be a lawyer to run for office. You don't have to be a political science major. You just need to have a passion for people and a heart for compassion and empathy and humanity, and wanting to use whatever power you have for the greater good, to allow yourself to be a vessel, to be a blessing to other people. You want to live in that kind of world, you can make it happen. Millennials and Gen Zers, because y'all got the numbers. It is not my opinion, it's a fact. Google it. The majority of Americans are now millennials, Gen Zers, like 12 to 26, 26, 27, to like right around 40. You are in the peak of your life, your lives, and you've got all the power. But too many of you don't realize it because you bought into the bullshit and you've allowed these people who are afraid of you to brainwash you, make you think that, your power, you don't have no power, you'll never have power, because they know you got all the power. And all you got to do is wake up out of the bed, brush your teeth, take a shower, put some deodorant on, put some clothes on, jump in your car, your bicycle, or call an Uber and Lyft and go vote and take a bunch of folks with you. Take all your crew, all y'all sitting around talking about what this party isn't doing, or, you worried about Project 2025 and mass deportations. You can stop all that. You can check all that. And you can do it early. You can vote early. So if you haven't registered, make sure you register. And if you have, re-register. Make sure 30, 45 days before the election, contact the Board of Elections in wherever you live. Contact the Board of Elections. Go online, check your voter registration status, because folks are playing games. Make sure you haven't been kicked off. You haven't been purged, only because they're going to do what they're going to listen. They desperate. And people who are desperate do desperate things. And say things like, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That's going to be the least of it. That's the talk of a scared, desperate coward. Step into your power. Everybody. Specifically my millennials and Gen Zers, but Gen Xers and baby boomers and greatest generation, you all too. You don't have to sit around, be afraid of, or be worried. Be activated and agitated. Time for some action, and the action is to organize and mobilize and show up to the polls in mass, in numbers like this country has never seen. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. God most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. Listen, you got some great video clips to pull from this show and make them go viral. You can copy and paste the link. You can text it. You can tag somebody's page. You can share it. However you want to do it. You've got my permission. The Geno Jones Show brought to you today. CM Transportation. If your business needs dependable, reliable, on-time deliveries, or a transportation company that you know is dependable and reliable and on time. CM Transportation, Carissa Carter, the CEO of CM Transportation, CM like Mary. You can Google search her, find her on Instagram, I think, Facebook for sure. I believe Instagram, just search CM Transportation, Corisa Carter, Carter, Carissa Carter. Thanks for watching, everybody. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Check him and his work. He is beyond a master barber. He's a hair artist, hair artiste. Check him and his cuts, his workout. Kel be cutting up. KELBECUTTINUP, and Allie Jones, who just put on an incredible fashion show in Chicago over the weekend. She was part of a fashion show. Her collection was part of this fashion show. You can check Allie and her collection out, LX.NCL_, that little dash below, on IG. Also, Markel Bailey, Kelby Cutting Up, is on IG, Instagram also. Allie Jones, check out her collection. LX.NCL_ is fire. Oh man, just the fits in the fashion show her models was wearing were wearing, and she had one outfit. She had on a jumpsuit. Fire. So I'm going to tell you, you have to see it for yourself. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. This week, March is still Women's History Month. My guest on Wednesday is going to be the First Lady of the city of North Charleston, Tracy Burgess, wife of Mayor Reggie Burgess, who's already doing great work in the community. So I'm really excited for the First Lady of the city of North Charleston, South Carolina. Her husband, Mayor Reggie Burgess, the first African-American mayor of the city of Charleston, North Charleston, that is. He was the first African-American police chief of the city of North Charleston. And in November, he became the first African-American mayor of the city of North Charleston, South Carolina. So Tracy Burgess, my guest, she's going to tell her story, and I'm so excited for her to tell her story, and I cannot wait. Shout out to everybody, my number one fan, hello, mother, and everybody else are watching me live right here on my YouTube channel. Until Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. In the meantime, listen, the monologue was fire, so chop it up, sop it up, flip it, rub it down, oh yeah, and make it go viral. Send it to those my millennial brothers and sisters, my Gen Xers. Hell, send it to everybody. I'll see you live 6:30 p.m. Eastern. If you missed some of the show, go back and binge watch it right now. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.